Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. I want to show you how a real man and a real father's rights advocate protests the courts and judges. We got father's rights advocates and the father's rights movement groups. When they go out and protest, they hold signs. Dads are people too. Please help honk if you love dads. Like that's going to do something. A judge is sitting up in their courtroom with all the power and discretion to abuse litigants and stuff. And I tell people this in some different videos, and I'm going to show you a video I have on my YouTube channel that shows you pictures of me protesting. And it only has like 162 views. And I got dads asking me, how do I protest? I don't know how to protest. Or, these groups out here. Like the stuff that actually affects and changes things are the videos that I get the least views on. If I talk about how corrupt the system is, everybody loves that because everybody wants to jump in and just vent and just have a big vampire energy, emotional draining, suck the life out of the whole audience, whine, cry, piss and moan party instead of doing something about it. So if you're one of the few people out there who want to do something about it, that's why this channel is up here. It's for you. So I'm going to show you how I protested the courthouse so you can see proof of what I'm talking about. And some of my protests have caused judges to start giving 50-50 orders. After I protested one particular judge that made a few corrupt rulings and I cited the specific case and case number, she started giving 50-50, even to a dad that admitted that he one time hit his kid and harmed his kid. So, and that was to the detriment of a mom for a minute, but the judge started thinking more about fathers being equal after I called her out. This is the type of stuff that rattles the cage and disturbs their bubble. But nobody wants to listen to me. They want to do, let's go through the traditional, let's go through the legislature and change the laws and all this other stuff. And you don't sit and think twice about what you're doing. There's already great laws on the books and the judges ignore them. What makes you think your better law is going to fix stuff when a judge does whatever they want? The problem is judicial discretion. If you don't know what that means, then you're too slow to be involved in this stuff. Learn this stuff before you go and do it. Understand and ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Will it actually work? Am I just emotionally triggered? So I'm just going to protest in this certain way and thinks it's going to change stuff. When I do protesting, it's targeted protesting. When I do a video on a corrupt judge or an attorney, it's targeted. And then I email everybody at the courthouse what that judge is doing behind the scenes so everybody knows, so they're embarrassed, and I disturb their bubble and I penetrate their bubble and get into their world and rattle their cage and embarrass them. That's why I protest my judge in his neighborhood and talk to his neighbors, because he doesn't care. He goes back to his green pastures and his white picket fence life, and nobody thinks anything of him. He goes to the courthouse, tortures people, and leaves, and nobody knows anything about it because nobody's exposing it. So let's take a look. So first I'm going to go to my YouTube channel. Here's the main page, main video that comes up right here. See that right there? There's an automatic video that plays. I'm going to turn that down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to above that. I'm going to search protest. And then here comes a bunch of videos that come up in that search. Some of James's, here's a couple of videos I have about protesting. So let's take a look at this one. And in this video, I'm talking about protests. And then I'm going to show you some protests and some signs that I have. So here's my personal judge who took jurisdiction of my case, Judge James Jim Edwin Rogers in King County Superior Court in Seattle, Washington. Okay. And he took 13 years. I got him reversed in the Court of Appeals. Then he got his panties in a bunch. Here's me in front of his house. And so I'm pointing out, that's his house in the background, okay? Judge Rogers was BFS with Stuart Greenberg. Google him. This guy was a parenting evaluator. Just Google it yourself. He was a parenting evaluator who would make recommendations on family law cases. Stuart Greenberg, at his office in Seattle, some lady, maybe he's in Edmonds or something, some lady found a camera in his office bathroom, and she called the cops. and he was secretly videotaping women and children in his office bathroom, and he had videotape of him enjoying the videotapes. He was arrested for voyeurism. He got out on bail, and then he killed himself. That's the #1 parenting evaluator in the greater Seattle area. He turned out to be a sexually deviant pervert, and Judge Rogers was a business partner of his. Now let's see what my other sign said here. So I got his home address, which is public information out here, and then I said that he hates and abuses a biracial kid. My daughter's biracial, and he abuses her because he threw me in jail without me having a right to be heard. There was a court hearing. I was never served, and he issued a bench warrant and threw me in jail. And there's a big old story about that. Found me in contempt for not giving the mother school and medical records, and I gave her attorney the phone number of the medical facility and the school. And so they railroaded me. I was in jail for 8 days, traumatized my daughter. So a few blocks down from the University of Washington, here I am also protesting, letting the whole neighborhood know. And there's a couple neighbors who stopped me saying, "Why are you doing this? You're a jerk." And then I got to talk to them for 20 to 30 minutes and tell them what a monster this guy is. So let's see what other things I have on here. Here's me protesting the judge in front of the courthouse. And I'm giving you the address of the courthouse. And here I go again. And here's this other courthouse. These are actual pictures. Got his birth date, his home address. Judge Gain and Darvis have placed children with sex offenders and drug addicts. Deborah Hunter of Family Court Services she's a man-hating radical feminist psycho. See, here's a Judge Cahan. She gave custody to a blind mom who got the child burned on the stove and said that she's better than a seeing dad. I embarrass these people. You guys go out there, kids are people too. Yeah, father's rights, honk. That doesn't do anything. That doesn't rattle anybody's cages. Let's see. Here's Judge Amini have placed. So same thing, Seattle, and I'm using that same sign. Let's see if okay. Here's Pierce County. I'm doing a different sign there. So I have a track record of doing this stuff. Have you ever heard of the Powell case? Powell. If you type in Graham Washington Powell, Powell. I think it was like Oprah Network did a documentary, or 2020 did a documentary. This guy up here, he blew up his kids and himself. And I said one of the judges out here got him killed, got those children killed. And then I'm handing out Commission on Judicial Conduct forms. You don't like your judge? Here's the form to make a complaint. Most people don't even do that. Don't even know how to do that. And then I have a generic one. Corrupt and greedy lawyers create fatherless families. But I don't want to just sit there at that. So let's go back out and let's look at the other video that I have. So here's a video of me protesting a family law attorney's office, and he's helping out somebody who beat the snot out of his own daughter. And what's crazy is this law firm is helping a family law attorney. So I'm showing people that I got the parenting plan from that case, and that this attorney signed off on it, and they're representing this father who smashed his daughter's head on a countertop, and he's got visitation with 3 other kids, but he can't see that kid ever again. And this law firm is helping him. And he's actually a family law attorney. Here goes the lead attorney coming back and talking smack to me. And I got him on video, and he's got me on video thinking he's doing something. His name is John F. Curry, Curry, in Auburn, Washington. And there he goes. I'm sitting here telling him and calling him out, and he's embarrassed. People should be doing this on a regular basis, and people will start changing their mind. So you can watch this video. It's only got 518 views because people don't want to see guys with balls actually doing manly stuff. So you can check that kind of stuff out. This is how you protest. Also, if you click on playlists on my YouTube channel, there's a section that says, where is it? Corrupt judges and lawyers. If I click on that playlist, then I got, let me see. So here's a good one, David Contos, and I'm talking about this lawyer who's a part-time substitute judge. Here's a picture of him, and I talk about how he trades sex for services. He got found out having sex at the courthouse. They kicked him off the pro tem rotation, and then now he's back on. Later in the video, I talk about my opposing attorney, that sexually deviant pervert who abuses his own women clients, and I call him out. And I'm going to email this video to everybody at the courthouse so they can see what's going on. And then I'm calling out a Supreme Court judge right here who didn't do anything about this stuff when she knew about these guys who abuse women and these crazy lawyers. Here's the guy that beat up his kid. that was being held by that other attorney. See, this is how you expose people like a real man.